stepped out of bounds. It looked like he could have made a move past the defender, but maybe that move put him out of bounds. And unfortunately, not as big as a gain as it could have been, but still a solid gain on first down.
Offset eye again. Looking to make something happen. Option for a receiver at the bottom of your screen. Handoff. Williams again through the middle. He's going to get a couple more, make it 3rd and 3. So 3rd, not much, but a pretty clutch 3rd down coming up here. Last thing they want is a 3 and out in front of this really raucous Fort Worth crowd.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to give the ball back over to the Hyenas here. But Hyenas playing really good defense so far. Fort Worth coming out in a run-first offense, and Houston has it covered well.
Curtis to throw. Over the middle, tipped and incomplete. And that is indeed what happens. A 3 and out. Houston's defense comes out and makes the play. And Houston's going to get the ball on for their first drive here in just a moment, thanks to Kai Cash.
Yeah, great coverage there by the Hyenas there. Kai Cash and AJ Barnes both in the area making the deflection there. Kai Cash got his hands on it, and that kills the drive for Fort Worth. They couldn't really get much going on the ground. They had a couple decent chunk plays, but Houston's defense stood up to them really, really well against the run. All those runs going up the middle were stopped just about right at the line, and great defensive stand by them.
Decent breeze, 13 miles an hour to the south-southeast, with 71 degrees out on the field. Great day for football. Punt upcoming. Kick up, end over end. It's going to be received at about the 10-yard line. Return to the 14, and no further than that. Houston comes out with the football in hand. We get another look at E.T. King, who has had an absolute monster of a season so far in season 16. He looks to continue that and looks to propel his team to a 6-3 record if he can do it.
Yeah, he looked great with Chicago, and then coming into Houston, Houston already had so many weapons, D.R. Sim and Warren Murray among the likes of them, and he has fit in really well in this offense.
And don't look, now he's in the gun on first down. Looks to throw. Quick throw, left side caught, broken tackle, gets the receiver to about the 22-yard line. Make it 2nd and 2. Good start for the Houston offense as they get their big man Stephen Walker involved.
Yeah, the rookie getting his first reception of the game, and what a fight for the yardage there. He gets hit with about 7 yards to gain, and he still drags a couple of defenders another 5 yards, and he makes it a 2nd and manageable. Really great fight out of the rookie.
Second and 2. Get to Warren Murray and the rest of the offense here in just a second. E.T. King backs up, puts it in Murray's hands. Murray has some green in front of him. He's going to be able to break through one tackle, tries to turn it upfield, but the contact from the defender pushes him out of bounds. It'll be first down for Houston as they move forward.
Solid run there by Warren Murray, getting the catch, getting into that open field, and he almost had that lane to the outside. He just got tripped up at the shoelaces.
Here comes a new set of downs, 1st and 10, I formation for E.T. King. Has the football. Quick drop back throw on a quick out. That's going to be caught. Out of bounds goes the receiver. 2nd and 5 for Houston. You take a look at your first catch from D.R. Sim, as he has been a legend in this league and continues to pile up the numbers.
I mean, D.R. Sim is a legend in his own right. I mean, he is almost 3,000 yards ahead of just about every other receiver that has played in the SFL in all-time stats. He has racked up countless numbers in his 11 seasons with Houston.
2nd and 5. Single back. King to throw. He's going to put it over the middle. That's tipped and intercepted. Back the other way. Tip drill works beautifully for Fort Worth, and they force the turnover from E.T. King. It's Nacho Sicario.
Yeah, it looked like E.K. Vincent got his hands on it, but he wasn't able to get the catch. But Nacho Sicario comes in and takes it out of the air for him. The better hands prevail, and now look at this. Fort Worth getting a big turnover there, and now they have some amazing field position. They are already knocking on the door.
Under center. Back the other way. Cameron Curtis starts this drive at the Houston 33. Handoff to Williams. He's going to try to bust it through the tackles. That's not going to go very far. 2nd and 10 as he gets stopped hard at the line of scrimmage.
And coming into this game, whenever you're playing any game against Fort Worth, you know that they're going to be running the ball. Jason Williams has had a great season so far, 836 yards on the season, which is good for third in the SFL. He's also third in touchdowns. So Houston scheming well for the run. You know Fort Worth is going to bring to you.
2nd and 10. Curtis to throw. Looks, moves in the pocket, wings it deep over the middle, and that is going to be caught. A laser beam that ended up at the 24-yard line. It is caught for Percoco. Her first catch, third and 1.
Yeah, that one looked like a frozen rope coming out of Curtis's hands, and the reception there by Percoco almost nets them the first down. Now this is going to be a big 3rd and 1 here.
3rd and 1. Indeed, 4 on the defensive line. Curtis to throw over the middle of the field. That one's caught at the 10-yard line to the 8 to the 7, and then taken down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Toros on their home field at the Stockyards at Stephen Hacker.
And what a great play in this drive so far by Fort Worth. They come out of the gate with a bunch of running plays. Even on their first drive, they're running the ball like crazy. And that opens up the passing lanes, opens up Cameron Curtis, and he's able to find his man, Stephen Hacker. And they're already here in the red zone. It's a 1st and goal.
Scoring opportunity for the Toros. Has the football. Curtis to the outside. Out route towards the pylon. Not going to happen. Couldn't turn it upfield. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line. Stephen Hacker again. This time can't get it in.
And some great defense there out of Marco Swift, able to beat Hacker to the sideline and hit him before he's able to dive into the end zone. Great defensive play, but Fort Worth, they're inching even closer to the goal line here.
At the 3-yard line, Curtis has the football, throws back in the end zone. That one is going to be caught. Fort Worth touchdown. What a grab for Percoco, and that is the first touchdown of the game in a very, very critical matchup.
And the tall 6'7" Lauren Percoco goes up for that ball, gets the foot in bounds. Just a beautiful reception. Cameron Curtis knows to go over the top, above all the defenders when you have the big tight end on your team. Great reception by Fort Worth. Great drive by them, able to go down the field against a tough defense and get that touchdown. Now they're on the board, putting some pressure on Houston.
Paco Sicario looking to cap off this 5-play, 33-yard drive. Snap good, hold good. Kick up and on the way. It is up and it is through. 7-0 lead for Fort Worth, and a good drive to get it done to take advantage of the turnover. Now Houston has to retaliate, and a little bit of redemption maybe on tap for E.T. King.
Great job there also by Fort Worth to capitalize on the turnover. We talked about turnovers earlier on the broadcast, how both of these teams are really good at getting turnovers, and it's going to be very important in this matchup that they capitalize on that, get some points on the board, because, you know, with some tough defenses on both of these teams, you know the points aren't going to come easily.
That return is going to get it to the 23-yard line, 1st and 10. And you talk about a defensive state of mind, Ryan Caudill, the Fort Worth Toros all over it.
Yeah, I mean, just about every single category in the league, Fort Worth is leading them on defense. They have one of the best pass defenses in the league. They are so hard to throw on, and they have, you know, they allow some of the least points to any teams in the league. They are one of the most dominant defenses in the SFL.
Least points, least yards as well. This will be a chance for E.T. King to the outside. Has it in Warren Murray's hands. Murray with a double spin. Gets taken out of the shoelaces, 2nd and 3. If you're new to the SFL, Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website, www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. E.T. King is under center, 2nd and 3. Warren Murray behind him. 3-step drop, gets it to Murray. He's in the screen pass. Another double spin, this time it nets him a first down. 4 spins, 12 yards on 2 plays, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Houston.
Yeah, the spin-to-play ratio is off the charts here for Warren Murray. I mean, and it nets them the first down. That was a great play call on the screen. Fort Worth was sending the pressure. They're able to evade it, get some blocking upfield, and Warren Murray gets the first down.
1st and 10. King Left side has it in Murray's hands again. He's got 3 catches already. Another spin move. This one will get him 2 more yards. 3 plays, 5 spins, 14 yards, and it's 2nd and 8.
See, I think what happened there, he didn't pull out the second spin. That's what you got to do. Clearly, get the second spin out. That's going to get you some first downs, but still, great play in the open field there by the Fort Worth defense.
In the gun, 5 wide for E.T. King. This is a team that loves this 5 wide set. See where they go with it. 2nd and 8, high snap brought down. Winged it over the middle. That one's incomplete. Nearly picked off again. And this one will hit the ground harmlessly. It's 3rd and long coming up.
You always got to watch out for this Fort Worth defense. Delaney Nash getting his hands on the ball. Almost got the interception. That would have been huge if they could get another one. E.T. King gets away with one. He really dodged a bullet there. You got to be careful with the ball. Got to protect. You can't turn the ball over here.
3 to the bottom, 2 to the top. Another 5 wide set on 3rd and long. Crowd getting loud, trying to will the Toros to a stop. King to throw. Right side. Tipped and incomplete. That's not going to get the job done. Fort Worth forces the 3 and out off of 1 first down. It'll be a punt coming up, and the Toros are going to get the ball back with the lead.
Yeah, great play there out of the secondary. Adam Leach was creeping up in the flat. Looked like he was going to try to pressure the quarterback. And then E.T. King bites on it. Leach jumps back into coverage, gets the deflection, makes an amazing play, and forces Houston to punt.
4th and long, and this will be the punt kick coming from about the 22-yard line. It'll be caught at about the 30. Moving the wrong way. That's a big problem for Fort Worth, and getting taken down in the process at his own 17-yard line. Oh no! That's a big issue for Fort Worth on the return, and he's going to be going back to the sideline with his head in his hands.
Cade Stevens, what are you doing, my man? The end zone's the other way. You gotta go the other way. He, tried to make a big play out of something, but he just ended up going backwards. That's a loss of like 15 yards. That is terrible for Fort Worth.
Oh boy, that's from their own 17. Handoff Williams. He's going to try to get a couple back. He will get to the 20-yard line. And 2nd and 7 is what they're facing. Jason Williams, part of an offense that both offenses not altogether great. Their defenses are what really keeps them in the game. No doubt about that. Middle of the pack are worse in points per game on offense, but at a 5-3 record, you can clearly tell where the money is made for both these teams. Offset I formation, 2nd and 7. Over the middle. That one's caught, first down and more inside the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for Fort Worth, as that one will go over the middle of the field. And another one for Lauren Percoco.
Yeah, her 3rd catch of the game. And, yet again, she's going up the middle, and it is just wide open. The Hyenas not covering in between the hash marks there. And she just splits that seam, gets a good reception. And we talk about how it runs through the rushing offense. This Fort Worth offense runs through Jason Williams. But Cameron Curtis, he can throw the ball just as well. And he can move that ball upfield just as well as Jason Williams can.
29 for 40 a week ago was Curtis. That'll be over the middle. Another one that finds a few yards. 2nd and 3 off of a 7-yard completion. This time they get Robert Garrett Jr., the other tight end, involved, and they get 7 yards out of it.
Yeah, and yet again, working the middle of the field there with the tight ends, and I think that's what we're going to see a lot of out of the Toros here. They'll run this heavy set with the tight ends where they can rush it if they want to, or they can throw it to the tight ends.
2nd and 3, offset I. Cameron Curtis is under center, has the football. 5-step drop, left side. That one is caught and able to keep it in bounds as Stephen Hacker. The footwork is gorgeous, and it's 1st and 10.
Yeah, beautiful throw there by Curtis and hitting Hacker right on the sidelines. And the ball got through the outstretched hands of Kai Cash. He tried to jump the route and get a pick of his own, but it doesn't work out for him. And it is another first down for the Toros.
In the gun. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. 4 on the defensive line. Curtis moves up in the pocket, throws over the middle of the field. That's caught. Real nice play, nice delayed route over the middle of the field. Another one for Hacker, his 4th catch. It'll be 1st and 10.
Yeah, beautiful play. Actually finding the fullback there. That was Chris Komistak coming across the middle. And that was a great throw by Curtis, finding his fullback in stride. and Komisak able to catch that ball, and because his momentum's still going forward, he still is able to gain an extra 4 or 5 yards after the catch.
Yeah, that will work. It looked like 88. It was actually 28. Not a problem. Under center is Cameron Curtis. Handoff. Williams has some room. Spin move and open field in front of him. And a nasty spin at that. Just couldn't quite turn on the Jets. Jason Williams has a first down, and they're moving inside Houston territory.
And he only needed one spin move to do it, Curtis. That was a beautiful spin right in the gap there, able to just break his ankles, get to the outside, and get another first down. This Fort Worth offense is cooking with some oil now.
1st and 10 at the Houston 24-yard line. Fort Worth up 7 points, looking to try to go up another 7 if they can get it in the end zone. Got to get it to the 14 for another first down. Offset I formation. They're not quite in the red zone. Cameron Curtis sees something at the line. He's going to call something. Looks to throw. Get it to the outside. Quick out. Quick 3 yards. Make it 2nd and 7. Exactly what the doctor ordered to eliminate any confusion. Another catch this time for sure for Stephen Hacker.
Another solid catch, and Fort Worth on this drive looks like they're easing off of the run game a little bit, and they're trying to throw the ball a little bit more, and this just adds to the confusion for the Hyenas. They're not going to know, what type of coverage they should call, if they should be prepared for the run, prepared for the throw, and that's what makes this Toros offense so dangerous.
Hacker at the bottom of your screen off the line. Garrett Jr. is lined up at the top, tight to the formation. That's going to be left for Stephen Hacker, and another one for a first down. He's at the 11-yard line. They're in the red zone again, and Fort Worth has been driving. Houston doesn't have an answer to stop him at the moment.
And this Curtis Hacker combo is just so electric right now. Houston just does not have an answer for it. Hacker able to work these sidelines so well, just getting these receptions, getting out of bounds real quick, or even, working the middle, getting some extra yardage on the short routes as well. Hacker is doing it all today.
And he's out of the formation as well. End of the first quarter is upon us. We have more to come, but the Toros are knocking on the door. It's the Simulation Football League on for the fans. Stay with us. Welcome back inside the Stockyards. Chris Curtis, Ryan Caudill, Delaney Nash on stats, Cameron Irvine, your commissioner and producer on staff. And on the first game of the Sunday slate, Fort Worth knocking on the door left to right, back of the end zone, and it's picked off in the back of the end zone. Don't look now, but Houston forces the turnover, and it's 1st and 10 back the other way at the 20-yard line. Wow, Ralgar Law with the interception, and they go back the other way.
And if you blink, you might have missed it. I thought that one might have landed in the hands of Steven Hacker, but no, it's Ralgar Law with a huge interception for Houston. That could not have come at a better time for the Hyenas. Fort Worth was driving down the field, about to take a 2-score lead, but he swipes it out of the air. Houston gets the ball back, and this is a new ball game.
7-0 lead for Fort Worth, so this could be a 14-point swing if it works out. That's a spin move for Warren Murray. He has been in the spin cycle all day long. This one nets him a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9. The linebackers come up to make the hit.
He spins so much, we'll call him the laundromat from now on, man. I was looking for a second spin move there on that run. He didn't pull it out, though.
Happens on occasion. 2nd and 9. E.T. King to the outside. Get it in Murray's hands again. Another one. This time he had an opportunity to spin and didn't take it. Another 3 yards to his... Actually, it's not going to be Warren Murray that time. That will be to the outside to the backup, and it's not going to go for much.
Yeah, I got a few yards, but Warren Murray sitting on the sideline there. The spinning was a little bit too much for him. Maybe he was feeling a little bit nauseous. But here they go again with the 5-wide set.
Let's see if it'll work again. 3rd and 6. Over the middle, E.T. King tipped and incomplete. That's not going to work. That's not what Houston needed. A quick 3 and out. Another punt coming for Houston. And they'll have to give the ball back. Greg Corky, your intended target.
It looked like it needed a little bit more juice on the ball. It gave... Fort Worth had a little bit too much time to converge on the ball there, and maybe, if E.T. King waits an extra second, he has some receivers going upfield as well. But just an unfortunate drop there for Houston, and that turnover just not going to result in points for them.
4th and 6. Punt upcoming. Punter lined up at his own 9-yard line. We'll probably kick it from about the 12 or 13. And from the 12. Kick gets end over midfield, returnable from the 35, and it'll be the return man taken down at the 37-yard line. Fort Worth in good field position at this point. Field position battle working out in their favor. Now they just don't need to throw an interception in the end zone, and they'll be in business. But a good start to this drive, hopefully for Cameron Curtis, as they look for a little redemption. And they had Houston on their back heels that last drive, and it was a very clutch play by a very game Ralgar Lewis on the one-on-one on Steven Hacker. Split backs. Curtis hands off to Williams. Williams going to bust his way through the tackles and get a couple of yards, make it 2nd and 8 at the 39, sorry.
Yeah, on that last drive, you're right. I mean, Fort Worth really looked like they were in the driver's seat and they were controlling this ball game, and the pace of play and everything was, off the charts from the Toros. The passing game was torching Houston. That time they go with the rush, it doesn't work. If they move back towards that passing, I think they find success.
Put it in the hands of Williams. Williams with a spin, tries a double that didn't quite do the same job as Murray's earlier, but he does get a couple. Make it 3rd and 2. And don't look now, but a 3rd and short coming for Fort Worth as they try to extend this drive.
Yeah, they've got some field position. They need to make the most out of it. If Houston can get a stop here, that would be very huge for them. They would get maybe some decent field position out of it, but a stop is big here.
Offside I formation, handoff. Williams trying to bust his way through. Doesn't get there. 4th and 1, ends up short. And Fort Worth has a decision to make. Likely going to be a punt, and Houston will get the ball back right away.
And the front 7 of Houston is able to stand up to the Toros and Jason Williams. Twice they tried to run it up the middle, and twice they were stopped. But look at this, they might go for it.
They are in split backs at the moment. 4th and 1 from their own 46-yard line. Fort Worth maybe gambling here, but no, they'll call a timeout trying to get Houston to jump offside. Didn't happen, and they will punt after this.
I like the call to try to draw them off sides. It's definitely worth the risk there, especially if you do get that first down. You have some great field position, and you might be able to, revive this drive. But instead, they're going to have to punt, and it was a great stop by Houston that got them there. I mean, that front 7 really showed up on the last drive. And now it's up to E.T. King and the Hyenas offense to have a short memory, just go back out there and, try to get some points on the board.
High Cash is deep for the punt return here. Kick happening from the 46-yard line where they were lined up. And from the 20-yard line, Kai Cash tries to spin, gets taken down at the 24, and it's 1st and 10 for Houston, back the other way. Keep up with the SFL and its teams on social media at Simulationfl. Follow us on Twitter for weekly broadcast schedules to discover team content and stay up to date on SFL news. Let us know who your favorite team is or how you enjoy the broadcast each week with the hashtag #MakeAnImpact. Thanks for your support and viewership. Back inside, we're ready to go for this next drive for E.T. King and company. To the top of your screen in the receiver's formation, Warren Murray is behind E.T. King. King to throw. Backs it up, puts it in Murray's hands. Murray to the outside, gets taken down by 2 Toros rushing right at him. Seeing red, and it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, well covered there by the Toros. They definitely saw Warren Murray in the flat, and they kept their defenders there. It was well covered there, and now Houston here with the 2nd and 9. You want to get some big plays. You have, the whole length of the field to go, but you need to get down there.
King with plenty of receptions so far, but none of them beyond 10 yards. This will be to the outside, put it in the hands of the back again, and this will be actually the tight end Stephen Walker, and he will get a couple, make it 3rd and 5.
Yeah, getting the rookie involved again. They got some receptions to him earlier. Now getting him involved again on the outside. And it seems like Houston been working that outside with their receivers a lot, going to the flats and letting their tight ends or their running back get that extra yardage on their own.
Clutch 3rd down here. 3 to the top of your screen. King has the football. 3-step drop over the right side. That one's caught. Nice inseam. Has them a 1st down and more down to the 44-yard line. It is 1st and 10. E.T. King finds his man.
Yeah, great play there by E.T. King. He saw that the Toros were playing them a little bit back at the line. The linebackers were back up, about 7-10 yards. And Houston only had 5 yards to go. So E.T. King, with a quick throw, gets there before the Toro can get there into coverage.
Leroy Brown, top of your screen. He had the last catch. He's lined up in the one-on-one to the outside. Deep, left side, E.T. King looking for help. He's got it. First big pass of the game for the Hyenas. Gets them a 1st and 10 out to the 32-yard line. And that's exactly what they needed from Fenimore.
Yeah, the rookie with a big catch there in double coverage. E.T. King has the trust in his man. And Fenimore goes up for it, gets the catch on the outside, and that was a huge reception for the Hyenas. They're moving down the field. They're in field goal range here and putting some pressure on Fort Worth now.
Albeit a long field goal if they need it. But they have a tight formation here on offense. They may be going to the run, maybe get Warren Murray involved on the ground. Nope, it'll be King to the outside, gets Warren Murray involved, but in the pass game instead, and he's taken down after a 3-yard loss. And Warren Murray only has 1 rush today. Everything else is through the air, which is a little bit interesting. He had 28 carries last week.
He had a big 100-yard game last week in their win against Portland. He was a big factor in that offense and what kept them in it. And now he's not really been rushing the ball too much. They're going to the outside. They're trying to get E.T. King's numbers up.
13 yards to the 1st down, 2nd and 13. King backs up, 7-step drop, rough side, nearly picked off, probably should have been, but they will take it. It is 3rd and 10 after that one hits the turf. Horrell on the coverage.
And the beast, Catherine Horrell, comes alive a little bit there, gets some pressure on E.T. King, and she's waking up. She had a huge game last week in their loss, 6 tackles for loss and a sack to her name. She's a big piece of that defensive line, and expect to call her name a number of times here later as well.
3rd and 13. 3rd and very, very long. King to throw. Got to make it easier on the field goal unit. That one is tipped and incomplete. That didn't quite work out. Fenimore, your intended target. 4th and 13. It'd be a 52-yarder from this spot. Keep in mind they do not have a contracted kicker, so decision time here for Houston.
Tough play there for Houston. They needed just a few more yards, make that field goal long, but maybe a little bit more manageable. But they're going to have to punt here. This is just going to be frustrating for Houston. Hopefully they can pin Fort Worth deep.
Ooh, that was nearly blocked as well. Jump was a little bit mistimed, and that is going to be caught, fair caught at the 14-yard line for Fort Worth. That's where they start this next drive. 1st and 10 for Cameron Curtis and company. They're up a touchdown, but we're starting to see, Ryan, this defensive showdown that we anticipated come into form as both these very stout defenses are starting to find their rhythm in keeping the ball in front of them.
Houston definitely figured something out here against Fort Worth on that last drive, working that middle of the field, having that run very well covered. We'll see what Fort Worth does this time.
Split back formation for Curtis. Backs up, 5-step drop. Looks, throws, left side. That one is caught. 7-yard completion. Gets Steven Hacker involved. That will be another one to the outside. Very good footwork from Hacker, as we've seen from him in his career.
Yeah, Hacker having a great game so far. 7 receptions already. And seems like every single one of them have been here to the outside. Hacker keeping his feet in bounds, getting out of bounds, and just getting some cheeky yardage on the outside that Houston just not covering. I mean, Hacker has just been getting some free yardage there, just going upfield a little bit, working his defender out, and getting to the sideline, and that is working really well for the Toros.
2nd and 3. I formation for Curtis. Handoff Williams through the middle. Tries to bust it through the tackles. It's not going to happen. 3rd and 2 after a 1-yard gain. Get into the 23-yard line. And the defensive line, the rush defense for Houston, very good all season long. They do it again here.
Yeah, the big Zach Turner, 6'7", 300 pounds, coming right up the middle, right in Jason Williams' face, hits him to the ground, and the run defense is still impenetrable.
I formation, 3rd and 2 for Fort Worth. To throw. Curtis, overshoots his man. That's not going to work. That is going to be an incompletion. 4th down upcoming, and yet another punt upcoming for Fort Worth. Cabron Womack in the area played good coverage on that, and a change in possession upcoming for Houston as they're going to get the ball back in pretty good field position.
So the last drive for Houston as well ends up resulting in not a big, penalty for them. They still get the ball back with decent field position.
That is going to be a punt, low snap, but it's handled fairly well. Fair catch called for and taken in at the 41-yard line, and that is where Houston is going to start this next drive. Still about 4 minutes, 40 seconds left in this second quarter. Chris Curtis, Ryan Caudill with you, Delaney Nash on stats, Cameron Irvine in the truck as well. And first of 6 games today in the SFL family of networks across for the fans and the Simulation Football League Twitch. And it's been a good day. It's been a good weekend so far as the playoffs races are getting tighter in each of the divisions, and none tighter, arguably, than the one we're in right now with that Tex-Mex division. This will be a chance for King. Wings it over the middle. That one's caught. Real long ball over the middle to the 35-yard line, and Houston's in business on 1st down.
And the man, the myth, the legend, DR Sim, the Hall of Famer, going across the middle, beating every defender to the top of the field. He gets it right at midfield, gets a huge reception for Houston, and yet again, they're able to go down the field with a big chunk play and get themselves into field goal range.
1st and 10. King to throw. Moves in the pocket, throws left. That is going to be caught. 2nd and 2 on a really, really good piece of footwork from DR Sim on the sideline. An 8-yard completion.
Yeah, great work there by DR Sim. Maybe Steven Hacker's been taking some classes from him, or maybe Sim's been taking some classes on Hacker. Both of them really good at keeping their feet in bounds. Great footwork and getting some solid yardage for Houston. The 2nd and 2 becomes a whole lot easier because of it.
Warren Murray lined up behind E.T. King. He's got 1 rush to his credit so far. Everything else has been through the air. He'll get a rush here. That is going to be an immediate tackle, though. A 2-yard loss nets them nothing, and that is going to be 3rd and 4 coming up. Fort Worth is in a spot to potentially put a kibosh to this drive.
And Fort Worth, known for their pass defense, but do not sleep on their defensive line. Joey Schwint getting there. Looked like he didn't even get blocked getting into the backfield. Huge stop.
In the gun. E.T. King, 2 with him. Looks to throw. Throws deep. Left side. That one's caught. That's a Houston touchdown. And guess who? It's DR Sim again in the end zone. Gonna be a tie game.
And it couldn't have come at a better time. DR Sim with an amazing catch. And a better throw by E.T. King. I mean, look at that. He beats his man, leads him inside, gets to the outside, towards the sideline, and it's a free throw for E.T. King. He finds DR Sim. They get the touchdown, and this is a tie ball game, Curtis.
Yeah, pending the extra point, obviously, which is never a guarantee, but it should be no issue in theory. From the 2-yard line at middle of the hash, try to tie this game up in the second quarter, and we expected a close ball game. Snap good, hold good, kick it up and on the way, and that's exactly what we've got. A 7-7 game in the second quarter with about 3.5 left.
And I mean, this is where this game gets so interesting. We're going into the second half. The whole division is on the line here, trying to vie for first place. I mean, this is all the chips are on the board. This is going to be a good one here in the second half too.
With the game for Mexico City yesterday, makes this division a whole lot more interesting. With a win, Fort Worth can vault them into first place. This will be a return, and it'll get returned by Stephen Hacker up to the 28-yard line. And back come the Fort Worth Toros. Crowd trying to get into it. Houston's done a good job of silencing them for the most part to this point. And this should be fun. This is this next couple of quarters. There's all the makings of a classic for Season 16. Under center, Cameron Curtis. In the backfield, Jason Williams. Curtis to throw, left side. That one is caught, trying to turn it upfield. Not going to work. And it'll be 2nd and 4 on the quick cross. Stephen Hacker with another one. He's got 8 receptions on 8 targets. He's also getting closer and closer to 6,000 total career yards. So that's something to think about as well. I'm not quite sure if he's there yet, but he's close.
Yeah, he's creeping up on that number, and I mean, the career numbers for him have been outstanding thus far. He's been a premier wide receiver in the league, and that is just continuing here with the Toros.
2nd and 4. Handoff. Williams has some room to run through the middle. He's got it through the tackles at the first down and more to the 39-yard line, and they get to a new set of downs in the process.
And Jason Williams last week had an amazing game. Even though they ended up losing that game, still got 110 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns to his name. He is still a dominant force in this offense and getting them that first down there as well.
1st and 10, offset eye to the outside. That one's caught, trying to move it upfield. Broken tackle on a nasty stiff arm for Stephen Hacker, and he does the job to get them the first down. What an offensive and aggressive play from Hacker.
Yeah, we've seen him a few times today. We've talked about it, him just going out of bounds when he gets the ball in his hand. But that time, he takes it right to Marco Swift, puts his hand in a face mask, and gets the first down. Great play by Hacker.
1st and 10. Curtis under center. 4 on the defensive line for Houston. Curtis to throw. Throws short. That one's caught. 6-yard completion as he puts the ball forward. Will get them 6 more yards as they cross the midfield stripe. 2-minute warning is going to be upon us here in very short order, and it is. 120 seconds left to the half. It is Fort Worth 7, Houston 7. It's the Simulation Football League on For the Fans. Stay with us. Back at the stockyards, Fort Worth, Texas is where we're at, ready to go for the 2-minute drill, essentially. Fort Worth with the football moving left to right. We're just before halftime in a very big Week 9 game. Williams through the tackles. He's got a first down and more inside the 37-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for Fort Worth as they continue to move the ball forward and they're trying to take the lead, Ryan, before the half.
Yeah, great blocking there out of the Toros as well. Just opened up a hole right up the middle for Jason Williams to coast through, getting another first down. The clock's still running, though. They got plenty of time. You got some really good field position. They just need to find the end zone here before the end of the half.
They used one of their timeouts earlier when they tried to catch Houston jumping offside. So that they have 2 timeouts left for this 2-minute drill. About a minute and a half. Williams through the middle. Got some room to go. Spin past another one. First down and more to the 24-yard line. It's 1st and 10.
I don't know how he did it there, Curtis. That one was just a beautiful spin move. He looked like he was about to get hit, and then he spins between 2 defenders. That was very impressive, getting that extra yardage, and Fort Worth knocking on the door.
I'd be very surprised if they don't get him the ball again. That's through the right side again. Jason Williams this time is going to get taken down after a quick play. 2nd and 8. No huddle offense on the field with 51 seconds to go. Looks to throw. Curtis, left side, looking for the man. He's got him. 1st and 10. Stephen Hacker has a new set of downs with 45 seconds to go, and they'll huddle up. That gets him to the 6,000-yard mark as well. Congratulations, Ralgar Law, with a real nice tackle, though, and it keeps them out of the end zone.
Yeah, congratulations to Stephen Hacker getting to 6,000 all-time receiving yards. That's a huge milestone for him, and the yards are going to continue to rack up here in Fort Worth. He is their main receiver, and he is a huge threat on offense.
1st and 10. 45 seconds to go. Curtis has the ball, looking to move up in the pocket. Throw towards the sideline. That is nothing. Out of bounds it goes. 2nd and 10. Coming up on the SFL halftime report, Cameron Irvine back at SFL Studios gives a scoreboard update around the league, takes a look at the upcoming league calendar, and visits the most up-to-date playoff picture. It's all coming up on the SFL halftime report. That'll be in about 41 seconds when we're done with the first half in Fort Worth. There's a lot of implications in today's matchups after a pretty topsy-turvy Saturday. Just 24 hours ago. 2nd and 10. Offset I formation. Williams is the deep back. Curtis will move in the pocket. He gets hit as he threw. They're going to say it's a forward-moving arm, so it's an incomplete pass. 3rd and 10 for Fort Worth.
And the pressure isn't something we've been able to talk about much from Houston. This front 7 from them is, among the best in the league. And that front 4, the defensive tackles, are such run stuffers. And Mike Baker, they're getting some pressure to the quarterback.
3rd and 10. From the 13. Looking to throw. 7-step drop. Wings it over the middle. Tipped and nearly should have been. No, he caught it. How? What a plinko ball. Fort Worth has the completion. It's 4th and 4, but they're going to get a chance at a field goal out of this. Stephen Hackers, I think, who came up with that football.
That ball bounced off of about 3 different Houston Hyenas. It bounced off a Toro, and then it somehow landed into the most sure hands on the field. And Stephen Hacker, he gets the most miraculous reception I think I've ever seen, and he almost got a first down out of it too.
We're about 2 bounces away from an extra ball in the pinball table with that. This is going to be a field goal coming. 4th and 4. It's a 24-yarder from here, left hash. Kick up and on the way from Taco. It is up, and it is through. So it will be a 10-7 lead, likely going into the halftime break, as Fort Worth does net some points out of this. That is a very odd sequence of events, and it's 10-7 Fort Worth. Houston going to get the ball back on the return.
Houston, they still have all 3 timeouts, so they definitely do have a chance here to go back up the field, maybe tie the ball game up at halftime. You have the deep threat in DR Sim and ET King. They've been working off each other all day today, so I think they definitely have the chance to score again.
As Kai Cash from his own 5-yard line gets absolutely lit up with 25 seconds left in this first half. And it's 1st and 10 Houston for E.T. King. Do you think they try to bomb it with E.T. King? He's gone down the field a couple times this half. Or do you think they just give it to Warren Murray and kind of let the half go?
I think they do give DR Sim a chance here. I mean, look at the bottom of the screen. You got two receivers, one at the top. That looks like a mismatch at the bottom there. There's only one quarterback covering him.
1st and 10. King to throw. They're going to go his direction over the middle of the field. That one's caught down to the 47-yard line. And midfield is where they're at. With 15 seconds left in the half, they're going to try the no huddle. Do they spike it or do they run the play? They will run it. King to throw. Again, deep over the middle. That one's going to be incomplete. Probably should have been picked, but they'll take it regardless. Fort Worth bats it down at 2nd and 10.
Yeah, close there. I think Houston should have called the timeout. They have 3 of them. They could have used one, save some time there, but that was a great play call there. Going to DR Sim in the mismatch of coverage, and he gets a huge chunk play. Now they have time for one more, get a timeout, get a field goal maybe.
2nd and 10 from the 47-yard line. Handoff. Warren Murray. He's got some room to go through the middle. Spins into the open field. He's going to try to break through a tackle. He'll get the first down and then some. But now they're going to call a timeout. It would be a long field goal, 54 yards from here with 3 seconds left. They may try this. And in which case, well, I mean, anything can happen. But it's unlikely from this spot.
I mean, they have a couple different options here, Curtis. I mean, that field goal is definitely a gamble. You don't have a contract kicker. That is something that they have to keep in mind here. I think if you're the Houston Hyenas, I think you go with the Hail Mary here.
Yeah.
You have one of the better quarterbacks in the league in E.T. King. You have one of the best wide receivers of all time in DR Sim. Might as well give him a chance.
For the top of your screen, Hail Mary formation. Oh, and he gets lit up. King evades one, but he can't evade the second one. The Toros come charging in and take him down, and that is going to be an anticlimactic end to this first half. But a 10-7 game in what promised to be a defensive battle, and it looks to be exactly that as we head into the halftime locker room. Hyenas and Toros in the Tex-Mex division locked up 10-7. Toros have the early lead. Ryan Caudill, your halftime thoughts?
I mean, this one has been dominance on the defense from both sides. Fort Worth is doing really good in the rush defense to hold back Warren Murray, and on the other side, Houston doing just as well to hold back Jason Williams. Jason Williams, 12 attempts, just over 50 yards already on the day, so he definitely got some traction. And, you know, Fort Worth has been able to get the ball down the field, but, you know, they had the one touchdown that came off of a short field. They had some great field position, and they were able to capitalize on that. If that's indicative of, you know, how the offense is performing or, you know, how the defense is performing, I don't know. But I think that could be a factor in their scoring later. If they don't, you know, get these interceptions, will they be able to drive down the full length of the field?
Couple news and notes before we head to break. Stephen Hacker has 6,000 receiving yards in his career. He hit that milestone in the second quarter. Congrats to him. And we've seen one interception apiece, one from E.T. King and then one from Cameron Curtis as well. Look for turnovers to be a key part of this second half. So that is going to be all from the first half in Fort Worth. We'll let the highlights play, and then we will send you to a quick break, and then it'll be to SFL Studios, Cameron Irvine, waiting with the SFL halftime report in just a moment. You are watching the Simulation Football League on For the Fans. Stay with us.
And welcome to the SFL Halftime Report. I am Cameron Irvine back here at SFL Studios. 10-7 Fort Worth leads Houston at the break. St. Louis is ahead of Tulsa early, 7-3 in the second quarter. Two divisions not necessarily on the line today, but new divisional leaders at the end of the day. Potentially three of these four teams have a shot at that. If Tulsa wins, they take over the East. If St. Louis wins, they continue to control the East. If the winner between Fort Worth and Houston takes over the South. Here on this SFL Halftime Report, we want to give you an update on the league calendar and what's coming up in the SFL. Of course, the regular season goes through April 10th and 11th, week 12 of the season. And then the SFLM's third season, the minor leagues begin roughly April 16th. The official dates of that will be released soon. And then the postseason will begin. Wild card round, quarterfinal round, semis, and then the 16th SFL Championship game on Sunday, May 9th. Owner meetings, schedule release show, re-signing period, and SFL honors happening in May. And then in June, we've got SFL honors and all-star rosters being released, the start of free agency, and then the SFLM playoffs and championship on June 13th. And if you want to get involved, if you're watching out there, watching Simulation Football League action and say, man, I want a player, I want to get involved, visit simulationfl.net. There's a button that says create a player, and you can find out more about it, or you can contact me directly and chat about the SFL and what we all have going on here. Well, coming into the week, it's been a crazy just a crazy experience trying to get to these playoffs this year with these divisions. Everything is very close. And this is your updated playoff picture coming into the day. Top four teams in which you can see in the upper right, they have all won championships and they all lead their divisions right now. Seeds 5 through 12 have never won an SFL championship, and there's been some shakeup after 6 games concluded yesterday. Notably, Las Vegas has entered the top 12 and into the fold for the first time this season, winners of 3 in a row. They held off Atlanta last night, and they are now 5-4 in a 3-way tie with LA and Lone Star there at the bottom of the wild card. Denver has a potential to have a full 2-game lead on the rest of the field if Florida falls to Vancouver later today. Right now, there are 7 teams with 3 losses, including your game, Fort Worth and Houston, and the SFL Twitch games, St. Louis there at 5-3. Tulsa is a half game out of the playoffs, but obviously could jump very much in the mix with a victory on the road today in St. Louis. Baltimore and Mexico City are both 6-3 at the 3 and 4 spots coming into today. Breaking news here on FTF in Week 11. Those two will play in the SFL's 1,500th game. That will be a big one, and that will kick off Week 11. Baltimore and Mexico City, number 3 and number 4, respectively. The 6 division winners automatically clinch playoff spots, but do not clinch the top 6 spots necessarily. You can see Jacksonville is the 5 seed, despite not winning their division. They are a half game back of Florida. So that is the look at the playoff picture coming into today. And we'll have updates on that as we go along this afternoon. But for now, it's 10-7. Fort Worth leads Houston at the half. And Tulsa just added a field goal against St. Louis. So that game is now 7-6. Neck-and-neck battle between the Gladiators and the Desperados. When we come back, we'll send it back out to Chris Curtis and Ryan Caudell for the second half of Houston and Fort Worth. I'm Cameron Irvine, and this has been the SFL Halftime Report. We'll be right back. You're watching the SFL on FTF.
And with that, welcome back in to the Stockyards. Fort Worth, Texas is where we're at, ready for the second half of football. Chris Curtis, Ryan Caudill in the broadcast booth with you. Got Delaney Nash on stats, and then Commissioner and producer Cameron Irvine hitting all the buttons for us. We're in a 10-7 ball game for the leadership of the South Division. Fort Worth is about to kick the ball off to Houston in this matchup, and Houston is going to get the ball as we start off. Kai Cash deep for the return. This will be returned from about the goal line and hit and taken down at about the 21-yard line. So back to the offense goes Houston as we get things going again. E.T. King back out onto the field looking for a better second half. Not a lot of consequential long plays to the offense for the Hyenas so far, Ryan.
He found DR Sim a few times for some big receptions, but not quite the production that he wanted out of that first half for sure.
1st and 10. King to throw, looks up, backs, throws over the middle of the field. That one's caught down to the 47-yard line. And don't look now, Houston, first play from scrimmage, has it downfield, and it's 1st and 10 again.
And DR Sim, this man just keeps catching deep balls just all day long. That middle of the field seems wide open for him, even though there were 5 defenders in the area. He makes it look that easy. He's already at 100 yards for today. That puts him at 1,000 yards for the season. So another big milestone for him in a career of milestones.
Yeah, no kidding. His 6th total 1,000-yard season. And it's going to be to the right. And has an open field in front of him, does Warren Murray. He's going to get a couple yards out of that 2nd and 7 as the Hyenas start moving it upfield. Only a 3-yard gain on that really convoluted play, it looked like.
Yeah, looked, he almost had a lane, but he got brought out of bounds. Momentum took him out. But, I mean, Houston already, 2 or 3 plays in, they're already here at midfield. It's these big plays that they're getting these chunk yardage and able to get down the field and get themselves threatening for the red zone.
That's going to be E.T. King, left side. That one's tipped and intercepted. Back the other way, and it's taken down. 1st and 10 at the 42. Nothing E.T. King can do differently there. Just an unfortunate set of circumstances gives Fort Worth the ball in good field position.
Yeah, it was a great throw. Great idea by E.T. King going to his man, DR Sim, over the top. Gave him a perfect throw, but it bounces off of the hands of DR Sim. Very, very, very rare drop from him. Falls right into the hands of E.K. Vincent. Big interception for Fort Worth. And now here we see again they have a great field position. They're going to be able to move back up the field.
So this is going to give Fort Worth a very, very good chance to do something here. 1st and 10. From their own 42-yard line. Looking to throw to the right side. That one's caught. Jason Williams can't do anything with that. Quick, let's head over to SFL HQ. A score update is pending in the game in St. Louis.
Thanks, Curtis. Tulsa, after a St. Louis field goal gets on the board, you see it there. Corey Jones with the touchdown. It's now 10-10 in the battle for the East. Tulsa hanging with the Gladiators as St. Louis tries to avoid their 4th straight loss. Back to Curtis and Ryan in Fort Worth.
And back inside Fort Worth, Curtis will throw again. This is going to be a receiver going the wrong direction back towards the line of scrimmage, and it is 3rd and 11. Lauren Percoco has a touchdown in this game. She couldn't quite find her directional coordinates there, and it'll be 3rd and long. From the battle to the east, the battle of the south is where we're at. It is it's the Fort Worth Toros and the Houston Hyenas, winner of which will take over the South Division lead through week 9. Ryan, it's a bit of a cluster in that division. All the teams over 500. That's a deep ball over the middle from Cameron Curtis, and he has his target at the 36-yard line. Another one over the middle of the field. It's Robert Garrett Jr.
And that is why this team is so hard to defend. You see the middle of the field for the tight ends. Robert Garrett Jr. just splitting right up the middle. Huge reception for him, but this is why they're so hard to defend. You have the tight ends going up the middle. These are some big weapons for them. Big 6'7" receivers that they'll catch anything that comes their way. You have Steven Hacker and company working the sidelines. And then you have the big Jason Williams that'll go up the middle. You can't keep everyone covered. This offense is so explosive.
Under center. Curtis to the outside. Has it in Williams' hands. Has some room to go. Trying to push his way forward. He's not going to do it. and he'll get at least 9 on it, make it 2nd and 1. That one over the middle to Robert Garrett, 23 yards, according to our stats man, Delaney Nash, and that'll make it 2nd and 1 for the moment at the 27-yard line.
Now Fort Worth moving the ball very well here in the second half, and going back to a little bit of what worked on their first drive where they were able to get some field goals, get some points out of it. They're going to the passing game. Being able to torch Houston through the air is going to be a big weapon for them.
Offside I formation for Fort Worth. That's going to be to the left, caught. Not much to it, but Stephen Hacker's been doing the not much to it game all day long. He's got many first downs and plenty of yards to go with it. 1st and 10.
And it seems like there's not much to it, but there is some first downs to it, and he's been racking those up today, just getting those sure completions on the outside. You know, he has some of the most sure hands in the game, getting that ball in his hands and just petering out of bounds, getting that first down, still keeping this offense alive.
1st and 10, handoff Williams. He's going to try to bust it through the middle. It's not going to go. 2nd and 9 after a yard gain. And they're working just outside the red zone again. Every time Fort Worth has gotten in the red zone, with the exception of once they've scored. The other one was a red zone interception that was in the end zone, actually. So that was an interesting play. That happened in the 2nd quarter, I do believe. 2nd and 9 for Fort Worth. 2 to the bottom of your screen in the offset eye. Curtis to throw, puts it in Williams' hands, tries to work through the screen, and he's got a couple of yards to it. 3rd and medium as they're inside the red zone again.
A 50% touchdown ratio here in the red zone so far. They had the touchdown to Komisak, and they were able to get that one, but the interception was a huge misplay for them. Now going back down, this is the time for Curtis to redeem himself.
Offside eye again. 4 on the defensive line, has the football, puts it to the outside. That one is going to be caught, but short of the first down marker. Hacker cannot believe it on the sideline. It's 4th and 1.
Yeah, he's been getting those first downs all game, and that time he falls a little bit short of the line to gain. And unfortunately, not getting the first down could be huge for them. Looks like Fort Worth, they may just have to settle for a field goal here.
This will be a chance for Taco Sicario. Get in on the act. Try to put his team up 6 points from the middle hash. 30-yard field goal from here. Snap good, hold good, kick up and on the way. It is up, and it is through. So 29 officially nets them points. It's a 16-7 game. Fort Worth has the advantage. Update from the other games, still tied up 10-10 as they play in the 2nd quarter. St. Louis and Tulsa doing battle in the East.
And we can talk about how Houston on that drive is able to get, somewhat of a stop. Fort Worth not getting a touchdown there keeps this game within 1 score. Houston can still come back and take the lead on this drive.
This will be up and away. Returnable from about 5 yards deep in the end zone for Kai Cash. The 15 to the 20, moves left at the 20-yard line, trying to move between the hashes. And he's going to get taken down at the 22-yard line. King back out on the field, but talking about Catherine Horrell, she had the sack on the Hail Mary before the half was done, as you see her notes there.
Yeah, last week having an amazing week against Las Vegas, able to get into the backfield and stop the rush. Even though they lost that game, she was a shining star, and she's still a big part of this defense in stopping Houston.
See what she can do to make an impact on this drive against ETK and company. That's going to be a Warren Murray run, and it goes absolutely nowhere. EK Vincent comes up to make a nasty stop. It's 2nd and 11.
Coming off of an interception of his own earlier in this game, now getting a TFL to his name, and able to just wrap him up behind the line, get that tackle, and yet another run stop for Fort Worth.
That's a big field goal that Fort Worth just got to, making it a necessity to get a touchdown for Houston. Right side, that one's caught. Trying to turn it upfield, not going to work, but good work from Kyle Finnemore to get in the open field. 3rd and 2 as they get it close, 3rd and short.
Yeah, solid reception there. Makes this 3rd down so much easier to get for Houston. I mean, a 3rd and 11 and a 3rd and 2 were drastically different downs. And now they have a lot more to work with, and he could have just kept the drive alive right there.
And that Fort Worth drive a moment ago, 9 plays that ended up in the field goal. So that's taking a lot of time off that clock is kind of nice, as we're about halfway through this 3rd quarter already. Three in the backfield. Handoff Warren Murray trying to bust his way forward, and it's not going to happen. Third and short becomes 4th and 3, and Houston is going to have to punt this one away, down 6 points, and give Fort Worth a chance to make it a 2-possession game.
And the run defense for Fort Worth steps up in a big way. I mean, earlier we were talking about their defense, and it's mostly their pass defense that have been noticeable. Not many teams going through the air, being able to score through the air. But this time it's Fort Worth stopping Houston on the ground.
4th and 3 to the 29 from the 29, and it's returnable. Nope, fair catch called for at the 36 anyway for Cade Stevens. 1st and 10 for Fort Worth. They have good field position again. They haven't really had bad field position. All but one drive started at the 14-yard line. Everything else has been from the 30 and up for Fort Worth.
Yeah, but still, they've had the good field position, but only 13 points coming off of that. So they haven't really been able to drive the length of the field. This Houston defense is still being able to step up and stop.
This will be a chance for Curtis. Curtis left side. That one is picked off. You saw that one coming. Great anticipation on the route jump. And that is Relgar Law's second interception of the day. 1st and 10, Houston, back the other way we go.
And a huge interception in a huge spot that puts Houston in their own territory to start this next drive off. And that was so clutch. Couldn't have come at a better time. I mean, Raul Garlow coming up with some big interceptions in some key moments. Earlier preventing a touchdown, this time preventing an entire drive from Fort Worth. Houston getting another chance with the ball back in their hands. And this time they got to make it count.
And a better field position to start with as well. 1st and 10, E.T. King has the football. High snap brought down. Wings it over the middle of the field. Tipped, and another pick. Back the other way again. This is a crazy amount of interceptions thrown. And there is Leroy Brown on the field, hardly moving. He is down and not getting up, and they'll tend to him on the field and probably bring him back.
Yeah, that is going to be a big loss for Houston. As if their offense wasn't struggling enough. Leroy Brown being that second wide receiver that they like to use behind DR Simius, the second most amount of receiving yards on the team. So that could be a huge loss for them and this offense going forward. We'll need to track his injury status later on.
And that could be something to keep an eye on for later for sure. 1st and 10 for Fort Worth as they have the ball back. 2 back-to-back interceptions, 1 from each man. And we have Fort Worth back with the football. To the 30-yard line they go. 2nd and 7. Update from St. Louis. The Gladiators are taking a 3-point lead on a field goal, closing up towards halftime.
Games in the SFL right now are close as they can be. Both of them some intense divisional fights. This is some good football we got cooking up for us, Curtis.
Offset I formation for Curtis. 3rd and 7. Handoff. Williams going to try to put it through the middle. It's not going to happen. He's going to get a yard and no further than that. 3rd and medium from the 31-yard line. And the linebacker, I believe that's Brody Gulch, who came up to make the stop.
Yeah, Brody Gulch, only his second season here with Hyena, only his second season in the SFL, but he plays like such a veteran, making some solid stops, and his run defense is impeccable.
2 to the right. 2 in the backfield with Curtis. 3rd and 6. Looks to throw. Throws to the outside. Puts it in the hand. Oh, great spin. That's going to get them a first down. The individual effort from Jason Williams is on par with some of the best in the league on that play. 1st and 10.
And that was beautiful, and it was so simple as well coming out of Jason Williams. All he did was look like he was going to go a little bit more inside than he actually did. It got the defender to commit to the inside. His hips were turned. Jason Williams gets the pin, locks him up, and gets the first down.
1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Handoff. Through the middle. Not much happening there. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 as Houston makes a stop on defense.
You got to stop that run here. And, I mean, this is getting dangerous for Houston. With Fort Worth having the ball in their hands, they're starting to move into Houston territory. And if Houston can't stop them, this game could run out of reach.
Slow and methodical drive. Williams again through the middle. They're going to gain 1 more. 3rd and 9. And this creates a 3rd and long scenario for Fort Worth, and Turner and company have a chance to put the stop to this drive right now. Split backs. Curtis is under center. 4 on the defensive line. Has the football. 5-step drop. Looks. Moves in the pocket. He's going to try to evade the sack. It's not going to work. He gets taken down at the 30-yard line. All the way back there. And Fort Worth will punt it away.
And what a stop by Houston. The defensive line finally is able to break through, get some pressure on Cameron Curtis. Wolf Justice getting the first sack of the game for Houston, and it couldn't have come at a better time here. Fort Worth was getting some momentum going. They were starting to drive into Houston territory, looking to make an even bigger crater in this lead. Houston with a big stop. They're going to get the ball back.
That is going to be the punt return coming to the 32-yard line. Not much more than that. Still 2 minutes, or about the 2 minutes mark in the third quarter. We've got more for you. 13-7, Fort Worth over Houston. It's the SFL on FTF. Stay with us. Back inside the stockyards, 1st and 10 for Houston as they try to get something going here and get back into this ball game. 13-7, handoff Warren Murray. Not much to that. Make it 2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line. And there you go. Leroy Brown done for the afternoon. And that is a big hit to the Houston offense, who was already struggling against a very game Fort Worth defense.
Yeah, I mean, some of that coverage has got to bleed over to DR Sim as well. Maybe getting some double coverage on him for the game. Without Leroy Brown, that offense is hit.
2nd and 10. Handoff. Again, Warren Murray. Not much to that one either. Make it 3rd and 8 at the 33. The SFL broadcast team is looking to add new talent to our ranks of broadcasters. Applications are being accepted now to try out for either play-by-play or analyst broadcasting positions. No prior experience is required, just a love for the game and a desire to succeed. The application can be found at our website at simulationfl.net/broadcasting. In the gun, 5 wide, E.T. King and a 3rd and 9 from the 33. Looking to heave it. Deep over the right side. That one's picked off. Another one back the other way. Fort Worth turnovers again, making an impact. 1st and 10 for the Toros at the Houston 39.
The man Delaney Nash making us look smart and making a team look good. A big interception there, and that kills any hope that Houston had on this drive. Fort Worth, even a good return out of Nash, they're going to get some good field position out of this. And it's if they can capitalize. They need to get some points on the board here. You want to strengthen your lead, get that to be, a 2-score lead. That could put this game really hard for Houston to come back. This is the drive for Fort Worth.
Under center. Throw to the outside. That one's caught. Trying to move forward as the receiver. Not going to happen. 2nd and 8 after only a 2-yard gain at the Houston 37. Just 48 seconds left in this third quarter, Ryan. Things getting tighter, but somehow Fort Worth still finds themselves with a 6-point lead.
Yeah, the tension is heating up here. The fans are getting loud. Houston's defense looking for a stop here. If they can stop Fort Worth, put them out of field goal range, this is still winnable.
This is through the middle. Jason Williams, not much to that. Couple of yards, make it 3rd and medium.
And how about this Houston defense today? I mean, the front 7 has showed up in a big way. Jason Williams, one of the better running backs in the league. He's 3rd in the league in rushing yards so far. And he has been stopped and held up at the line just about every chance that he gets.
Get one more play in before the end of the third. That's going to be a quick ball over the middle. That one's caught. First down to the 29, and that brings us to the end of the third frame. 13-7, Fort Worth has the ball, and they're moving, trying to make it a 2-possession game. You're watching the SFL on For the Fans. Stay with us. Back inside the stockyards, it's 13-7 Fort Worth over Houston, but Fort Worth is moving the ball. They're in field goal range at this point. Chris Curtis, Ryan Caudill with you. Delaney Nash on stats, Cameron Irvine, commissioner and producer, in the truck with us. We are ready to go for a 1st and 10. Make it now 2nd and 10 as Jason Williams goes absolutely nowhere, and a big hit stops that in its tracks.
Yeah, Wolf Justice, he had a sack earlier, got another TFL there, another good stop against Jason Williams.
2nd and 10. From the 29-yard line. Handoff Williams. This time he's got a little bit of room to go, but not much. Make it 3rd and 9. Another game update. Let's head over to SFL HQ. Cameron Irvine, what you got?
Thank you, Curtis. Ricky Thornton picks off Christian Brown. Tulsa still down 3 in the third, but the Desperados defense picking it up, and then the very next play, Gabriel Manning, a diving catch down the field. Tulsa's in scoring position to try to tie or take the lead. Back to Curtis and Ryan in Fort Worth.
And that's going to be a ball over the middle as we're back at the stockyards. 1st and 10, Curtis finds his intended target. That's Lauren Percoco. Another grab, her 5th catch of the day, and it's 1st and 10 again.
Yeah, big game out of Percoco, and the entire receiving core from Fort Worth. Percoco has a touchdown to her name, and Hacker, 13 receptions on the day, over 90 yards, nearing that 100-yard mark.
Yes, for Curtis over the middle of the field. That one is caught. Somehow found its way in front of 4 different Hyenas. It's 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. And don't look, now Robert Garrett Jr., only his 3rd catch, but you get a big one there.
That comes in a big spot, getting a 1st down, getting them even closer to the goal line here. You're, about 5-6 yards out, about 5 yards out, and you have one of the best running backs in the league. Your offense has been cooking really well today. This is looking good for Fort Worth.
1st and goal. Yeah, 5 wide for Cameron Curtis. They're going to trust his arm in a really, really clutch spot. Has the football, looks to throw. Ends up being a 5-step drop through the middle of the field. Did not get there to the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal.
He tried to find Percoco and get her 2nd touchdown of the game, but the Hyenas say no. Stop her right at the goal line. She almost got her 2nd one, but it's going to be a 2nd and goal and less than a yard to go.
Split backs. Curtis with the football. Handoff through the middle, and that's going to put it through. Touchdown, Toros, and they take a 2-possession lead.
And they send the fullback, Chris Komisak, into the end zone there. His 1st touchdown of the season, and it comes in a big spot in a tight game. Fort Worth, pending the extra point, looking to be 13 points ahead. And this is looking bad for the Hyenas. Their offense is really going to have to pick this up. They need to get some points on the board, but Fort Worth, their offense able to drive down the field after the interception, capitalizing on the turnover, getting some points to their name on the board, and this is huge for them.
Snap on the way, kick is up, and it is through for the extra point. So it's a 20-7 game, 13-point deficit in Fort Worth, as Houston's in a really tough spot at this point. And here we go. This is a big drive coming up for the Hyenas.
I mean, in this game, with all the playoff implications, all the division matchup implications, this is where it's going to count the most. They need to score on this drive. This is do or die time, Curtis.
Kick up and on the way. This is going to be returnable from about the 5-yard line. Returnable to about the 20 to the 27-yard line. That's where he's taken down. It is 1st and 10. Sector 6 is the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League. Visit sector6apparel.com or our website at simulationfl.net for replica team jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more that help each team stand out from their opponents. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6 and the SFL. Under center. Tight formation on 1st down. 20-7 lead. This will be to the right side. That one's caught and a couple of yards forward. Not much to that, but it'll get it to the 29-yard line. They get 2nd and 8 for Warren Murray and company.
Now, Fort Worth has had those flats covered all game long. They've tried to go to Warren Murray in the outside, tried to find the tight ends out there as well. But Fort Worth covering it very, very well. Warren Murray not able to go very far.
2nd and 8. 3 in the backfield for E.T. King. Got to try to find something that works. Hand off Murray. Going to try to bump into the outside. Has some room to go. Going to try to spin his way back inside. Not going to happen. Probably would have been better keeping it outside. But either way, 3rd and 4 coming. And a big 3rd down coming up here for Fort Worth defense.
Yeah, it looked like he could have had a lane to the outside. He had some blocking as well. But this is, you're right, this is a big 3rd and 4 here. Every 3rd down on this drive is going to matter a lot. See what they do.
This will be a chance left side. That one's caught. 1st down. I believe he did get it. That's going to be a big 1st down for Houston. Let's send it back to SFL HQ for one more score update from St. Louis.
Thanks, Curtis. Remember that interception? Well, Tulsa turned it into points in the end zone. Sanzo Robinson on the carry, and Tulsa has their first lead of the afternoon, trying to take over the lead in the East Division, 17-13 in the 3rd. Back to you, Chris.
This See if the Desperados can hold on to that lead now that they have it. Back in Fort Worth. This is going to be a run through the right side, a 2-yard gainer for Warren Murray. Not much more than that as linebackers come up to make the hit. Browning, it was the lead man on the stop. And don't look now, 2nd and long coming up here for the Houston Hyenas.
Warren Murray not able to go very far. The front 7 for Fort Worth is stepping up in a big way today.
High formation. Looks to throw. 3-step drop, thrown over the middle. That's going to be a nice tight cross, and it's a nice completion as well. Make it 3rd and very short at the 47-yard line.
This time getting the other tight end, Randy Pierce, involved. Good completion up the middle here. This is another big 3rd and 2 here. Do they go to the run game? It hasn't been working super well, or do they take another risk with E.T. King in the passing game?
Look out for DR Sim here. Coming from this formation, they may go his way. Instead, it's going to be the other way. It's going to be Warren Murray again. This time, a big first down gets them moving the right direction at the very least. And that is going to create, I'm sorry, it's Jackson on the completion. Either way, that's a big play. 1st and 10 for the Hyenas.
You said look at DR Sim, and I think the entire defense listened. This time, Houston going with a little misdirection. Goes to the fullback, and it gets them the 1st down.
1st and 10. They're in Fort Worth territory. King on a 7-step drop. Moves up in the pocket. He's going to get hit hard. Taken down again. A 9-yard loss on the sack. And it's 2nd and long.
E.T. King tried to take the risk. He was about to load up the cannon and launch one. But Gary Marks gets to him before he can get the ball out. The coverage collapses. E.T. King goes down. A 9-yard loss on 1st down. That is terrible for Houston.
From their own 42-yard line. 3 to the top, 2 to the bottom, and a 5-wide set. They have not been as successful going to this formation today. Over the middle, that one's caught! And a big one over the middle of the field to the 32. Fort Worth is up against the wall here at their own 32, trying to prevent points. Houston moving forward. They're in the no huddle here, trying to catch him off guard. They like the matchup. Another 5 wide. King, right side. That one's caught as well. 9 yards, and they continue to run the no huddle, Ryan.
Yeah, 2 big plays, big receptions going up the middle. The clock is still moving. They got to get to the end zone.
This is going to be over the middle of the field as well. That one's caught on a cross and a 1st down. They're inside the red zone, and they continue to keep the same matchup on the field. Think about this going forward if they get it close later in the game. 5 wide again. King has the football, moves, throws on the run. That's a problem, and it's picked off, and plenty of green. No kidding. He's going to take it. Possibly, maybe all the way to the house. The pick 6 puts Fort Worth in the driver's seat, and the Toros are running with the Bulls. What a play for Fort Worth, and Leach has himself a 85-yard pick 6.
And oh my goodness, Chris Curtis, the biggest interception of the game. It could be 5 interceptions for the Toros today. None bigger than this one from Adam Leach, getting his 2nd pick 6 of the season. A huge play from him. Great job from the Toros on defense. Their secondary has been outstanding today, and E.T. King is paying the price. That time he got a little lazy with the throw. He tried to go a little easy on it. That time the Toros, they jumped the route, and there is nothing but green in front of them. And this has gone from bad to worse for the Hyenas.
It is arguable that E.T. King is going to be an SFL Hall of Famer. I think it's more than arguable. I think it's probable. That being said, they've forced the future probable Hall of Famer into 5 interceptions today, and none bigger than that one, as it's become a 27-7 advantage for the Fort Worth Toros as the extra point is up and good from Taco. Houston is in a bad way, and don't look now, but the Toros are in a spot that they could potentially take over the South Division lead as long as this continues. It's going to be from the 5-yard line. Returnable from Kai Cash. He's going to try to move it forward, breaks a couple of tackles, gets out to the 29-yard line, and that is where that one ends. As you take a look at the South Division there, it is winner takes the lead in the South Division, and a crazy turn of events as Fort Worth has really started to run away with this contest.
Yeah, and going to 5-4 is not what you want. There is a huge muck of teams at 5-4 right now, and they are all vying for a playoff spot. So you definitely need the win here. And Fort Worth looking like they're going to come away with it.
1st and 10. To the outside, Warren Murray has the ball in his hands, tries an open field spin against 3 people, and it didn't quite work out. They're going to run open no huddle again. And it worked until it didn't last time. We'll see how long they keep with it this time. King to throw. Has one deep left side. That one is picked off again. Number 6 for Fort Worth. They've put King on notice here. Aiden Davis comes up with it, and another interception taken in by Fort Worth. It's only going to help their turnover differential.
And that is the 6th interception of the game, Chris, and the 6th different Toro to catch an interception for them. This defense is stepping up, and it's not just one player, it's all of them. It's a collective team effort here to put away the Hyenas in a tense division matchup, and that was just another way that they were able to step up and make an impact.
Crazy moments here in Fort Worth, as that one will be a run for Jason Williams, a 4-yard gain. Visit the all-new SFL League website at simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player, join our community, the league, and the teams that play in it. Links to apparel, helmets, and a comprehensive history of the SFL wait for you there as well. And it's over 1,400 games long and thousands of players who have hit the virtual field. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. It's also the place you can get the Discord link to join our massive community of players, coaches, owners, broadcasters, and fans that participate in this league every single day. 2nd and 6, sorry. Hand off Williams through the middle of the field. That's going to be through the middle, and again, a great one. 1st and 10 for Jason Williams. He's going to eat that clock a little bit more, and the offensive line coming up big on this particular run.
Yeah, some great blocking there from everyone. The offensive line opening up some holes for him. Even though he had some Hyenas flying his way, he's able to make some cuts and get the 1st down. And I mean, Houston, we've seen them against the Texas teams. They've been dominant, especially at home. Their first loss in 10 games coming against Fort Worth earlier this season. They're 4-3 on the road against Texas teams, and it's going to move to 4-4. And Fort Worth has just been dominating today.
Not to mention, Fort Worth has had their number. They beat them earlier this season as well. 1st and 10. Handoff. Williams again through the middle. That's going to be a 1-yard gain. Not much more than that. You got a couple minutes left here in this 4th quarter. We're just about north of the 2-minute warning. That's going to be coming up here in just a moment. But Houston kind of taking this one on the chin. And they got a couple more punches left in them. And see how good their chin is. 27-7. Fort Worth over Houston as we get to the 2-minute warning in the 4th quarter. It's the SFL on For the Fans. Stay with us. Back inside, 2nd and 9 for the Toros. They try to eat more of this clock. Chris Curtis, Ryan Cadeau wrapping things up here in Fort Worth, 27-7, as Fort Worth has really run away in this fourth quarter with this game. Big hit on the defensive line, and Houston is going to be taking a timeout here. The backups have actually come into the game as well. Brody Gulch comes up, makes a stop.
Yeah, Fort Worth obviously feeling comfortable with their lead here. And why not? With the way that their offense has been performing, might as well bring in the backups, get them some time on the field.
Back formation, 3rd and 10. Another handoff for Williams. Going to try to bust it through the middle. He will get forward, but not enough. And that's going to be a 5-yard gain. Make it 4th down. Another timeout taken away for Houston as they're down to 1.
Yeah, calling a timeout, trying to conserve some clock. And they got to give it their best effort here. I mean, in the last 2 minutes, they might as well, try to get some points on the board, try to get some final fight in them, and see what they can do.
On upcoming, and to give Houston back the football at least one more time. 6 interceptions on the day for E.T. King. Not the way he wanted today to go when he woke up. No doubt about that one. That one's going to be trying to pin down the Hyenas towards the 10-yard line. They'll get caught at the 12. Got a game update for you. Let's head over to SFL HQ. It's Cameron Irvine.
Thank you, Curtis. St. Louis, thanks to Geralt. Winkler, right at the goal line, gets the pick and keeps it a 1-score game. We'll be sending it to St. Louis for bonus coverage after Fort Worth and Houston. It's a nail-biter in the East. Back to Chris and Ryan in Texas.
Fair enough, and this will be Houston trying to make something happen late in this contest. That'll be over the middle. And 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. 1st and 10, at least they get some yardage there. We headed over to that St. Louis Tulsa game after we are done here, so stay tuned for that, as this will be over the middle of the field. A couple more yards. They continue to run the no huddle. See how long they can keep this up. King in a 5-wide set. Low snap, brought in. Plenty of heave over the middle. That one's tipped and nearly picked off again. That one will hit the ground harmlessly. Make it 3rd down. Next week on For the Fans, covers in the SFL, starts at 12:30 Eastern in a new time. Mexico City is going to battle Fort Worth in the tight-as-can-be Tex-Mex South Division, while fellow division opponent Houston goes to London. All Atlantic teams are in action later when Florida visits Charleston and Carolina hosts Jacksonville. The SFL and For the Fans, we put the fan in fantasy. 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Ends up being a 5-step drop over the middle of the field. Wide diving catch, and it's caught. 1st down. Houston at least adds some fuel to the fire here, but they use their last time out in the process.
Kyle Fenimore getting another chance to ball out here, and what an amazing catch. And what some would call garbage time, but that was not a garbage catch. No. Diving out for it and making an amazing grab.
That's good stuff. 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. They're in Fort Worth territory at least. Houston trying to get some stats in at the very least and make it look a little better. But this second half effort was all about how Fort Worth wanted it, I think, more than anything. Left side. That's caught. Broken tackle, and not much further than that, making an 8-yard gain for Warren Murray through the air. Has more receptions than rushes in this game again. He had a good week last week, but hasn't really been able to follow it up on the ground.
I was able to find, some good yardage last week against Portland. Got, that game was, a little bit easier on the defensive side. I think this time, Fort Worth really had his number in the rushing category, and he was forced to kind of do some different things, and it just didn't really work out for the Hyenas.
2nd and 2 at the 41. As we play with about a minute left in this one, King's going to throw over the middle, cross in. It's a good catch. 1st and 10 at the 30. They're in field goal range. It'll be a 47-yarder from this spot, but they got plenty of time to get there. And they'll spike the ball to get it there. 2nd and 10, as they will lose it down in the process. Still 50 seconds left. Do you have anybody that you're eyeing as the player of the game for this particular contest, sir?
Well, a couple ideas. I was thinking Stephen Hacker. E.T. King is an outside shot for Fort Worth. And even Adam Leach with the pick 6. That could be another outside chance. Even Jason Williams had a good game. There are a lot of viable candidates for Fort Worth.
And I think it could end up being Cameron Curtis. He's got a couple of touchdowns in this game, I believe. That's my pick going in, but we'll see. This is going to be a deep 1-0 for ET. King over the middle, and that one probably should have been picked off as well, as that one will hit the turf harmlessly. 3rd and long is what it ends up in, what might be the second to last play of this game.
Yeah, luckily for ET King, the backups for Fort Worth don't have as good a hands as the starters. And, I mean, really it was a collective defensive effort for Fort Worth in this game. I mean, all the cornerbacks stepping up in coverage. A lot of people had interceptions. The front 7 was huge in stopping the run. It was a big effort from Fort Worth.
That's going to be right side. That one is picked off again. Number 7 on the day for the Fort Worth secondary. All of them charged to that man, E.T. King, and he is fighting it right now. Fort Worth's defense has stepped up in a big way today.
Yeah, he's seeing ghosts out on the field, and it's obviously not what you want. Aiden Davis getting another interception to his name. And Fort Worth, padding the stats for the turnover differential yet again. We talked about it earlier, but their turnover differential is the best in the league. They are so good at getting these turnovers. And that was well on display today.
Yeah, victory formation on the field for Fort Worth, so they're going to wrap up this 27-7 victory as they will let the time go. But what a game from Fort Worth's defense. The biggest reason why they are going to be taking over the South Division lead, and they've made a statement today. Yes, it was at home. It was against a Houston team that it was equal to them in the rankings, but this is also going to be a clean sweep of Houston by Fort Worth this season. So anything head-to-head absolutely goes Fort Worth's way, which could be a big thing 3 games down the road when you start to look at playoff seeding.
Yeah, they have the record in the division as well, and they really have Houston's number. Fort Worth really has been, such a dominant team on defense. And Houston coming into this game, they were white hot. They've won 5 of their last 6. It was a impressive performance from Fort Worth to stop them in their tracks, stop that really white hot offense, and really get past that defense as well. Everyone really stepped up. Cameron Curtis had a great game, finding his man Stephen Hacker a bunch of times. Jason Williams got it done on the ground, and the defense was so huge. It's what's, brought them to 6-3. It's what's put them at the top of their division now and in the top of the standings in the SFL. And they've been so good against the pass. They've been so good at, preventing other teams from scoring. And that's exactly what they did today. Houston, every time they were trying to get down into the red zone, they were threatening to score. Then Fort Worth was able to step up, get an interception, get a stop, whatever it was. And that is part of their success, is getting those interceptions, getting those stops. And it really was a collective team effort from them.
Yeah, a lot of fun to be had all day long in the South Division. Really big statement made by the Fort Worth Toros. We talked about the player of the game. I'm thinking it's Cameron Curtis. If you have a pick, give me it in 3 words or less, if you can.
That's tough. I don't know if I could say 3 words or less, because there's about 5 different names that come to mind, Stephen Hacker being one of them. I think Cameron Curtis, I think you are right, could be the player of the game. Jason Williams, he did not get that touchdown earlier. Comisac was the one to get it. So he doesn't have that going for him. I think it could still be Adam Leach getting that huge pick 6 as well to seal the game. But I think you are right, Cameron Curtis.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll see if that indeed is the thing or not. But either way, the South Division leader, Fort Worth Toros, at this very moment. We've got more coverage coming up for you here on For the Fans. We've actually got bonus coverage coming up in just a minute or 2. That is, we're headed down to St. Louis as Tulsa has a 20-16 lead. At the moment, we'll be to them in just a moment. Andy Hamilton and Gerald Giudice on the call down in the Gateway Arch. So this has been a very good game. It was really competitive all the way up until the 4th quarter when the wheels started to come off for Houston as we get the player of the game, and it is indeed Adam Leach. He had the pick 6. That's a pretty good call. So defensively, very good work from the Fort Worth Toros. That's the reason they are 6-3 and leaders of the South Division. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League. For more, log on to simulationfl.net. We will send you to a break and then quickly over to Andy Hamilton and Gerald Giudice for bonus coverage in St. Louis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in just a little while.
turn around, keep handing the ball to Sanzo Robinson. You can't afford a turnover right now. And you can actually, if you don't get a field goal, you can actually pin them deep with the punt. So
3-4 out of St. Louis. They will shade off to this near side. 2nd and 11. Tulsa going to take as much time off this clock with a 4-point lead as they can. They will give to Robinson. He will go not far. We welcome those of you who just watched Fort Worth beat Houston 27-7 down in Fort Worth. This is a game where Tulsa and St. Louis have traded points back. There's 2 minutes to go, and St. Louis finds themselves down by 4. It's the 2-minute warning from St. Louis, Missouri. 2 minutes and counting. I'm Andy Hamilton. Joining me in the booth is Gerald Giudice, and Tulsa trying to put this one away, need this third down. The rookie gonna fire across the middle. Manning has the catch, but the tackle in the middle of the field is shy. St. Louis burns one timeout, and they will get the ball back, Gerald.
they'll get the ball back here. Ismail Farouk coming out here with his for the second punt of the ball game. Tulsa, this is huge. If you can pin them deep, pin them somewhere inside the 10 and force them to go all the way down the field because they need a touchdown to win, a field goal does not work.
Farouk on. St. Louis awaits the return. They are not going to come after it. They are trying to set up for a return. It's going to bounce at the 4. Oh, what a catch! What a special teams play by Tulsa! And what a time to make it! Julian Valier!
Julian Valier, the starting quarterback, makes like the returner, just about waves his hands and comes for a fair catch at the 5. Christian Brown in St. Louis has to go 95 yards and a $1.48 if they want to win the ball game.
Battle of the rookie quarterbacks. Christian Brown, a second-round pick. JQ for Tulsa, a first-round pick. The second-rounder goes deep, and he's got one at the 26. A huge throw, and St. Louis, a quick timeout.
Gets them out of the shadow of their goalpost as a big-time throw here. And, of course, big-time throw, you go to your big-time receiver, Eagle Mandavi, as he just leaps up and makes that grab and the pickup of 21. And right now, St. Louis is looking pretty good here with the momentum going with that pass to Eagle Mandavi here. Got a $1.43 and one timeout to go.
The Gladiators, the hometown team, are the favorites by only 3 points. They're down, though, by 4. Here is Brown, going to take another shot, and that's another catch all the way to the 46.
The front 4 for Tulsa has got to get pressure on Christian Brown. You can't let him back there the whole time.
Slings it again, another catch. Oh, Paul Dillevue, 2 in a row, and they're down to the Desperados 30.
3 passes, and they have now gained 65 yards. Dillevue comes up, another great leaping catch here. And Tulsa's been bending and not breaking at this point. They need to stop them right here. A $1.26. No timeouts left for St. Louis. This is the drive of the ball game here for both ball clubs.
Gun straight. They've had trouble out of this formation today. Christian Brown, the rookie, trying to show that St. Louis is his franchise. Toss across the middle. Caught. First down to the 16. Why aren't they hurrying up, Gerald?
I don't know if maybe they don't want to give Tulsa a lot of time left on the clock. But, man, you need a touchdown here. I mean, that's just, I guess that's confidence in your offense here that you're moving the football.
Christian Brown, cool, calm, and collected. 4 receivers wide. He'll take the snap. Sidearm, back front. Oh, Koss to the 1.
What a drive here for Christian Brown and this offense here. 46 seconds to go and counting.
Brown stands, moves in the pocket. Cool throw, incomplete. Right there was Rial to get a hand to it.
Espen Rial comes up with another big pass deflection, his 3rd of the ball game. And now it's 2nd and goal here at the 1. Do you throw it or do you try to run it here with Cairo Martinez, who has 105 on the game? You have a big Bakken back and Bill Cherry here. Let's see what they do here on 2nd and goal.
Split backs. Either way you could go. Brown under center will look to throw. Stands in the pocket, fires on the outrun. Intercepted! Intercepted by Cameron Shaw! And Tulsa takes the ball away!
Cameron Shaw, an ill-advised pass there by Christian Brown. I think they made the mistake right there. As you see, in the thing that they pulled a Seattle there, just a unbelievably great defensive play by Cameron Shaw, but I think it was helped there by the play calling. I would have ran it right there.
Cameron Shaw in one play may have just taken away a division lead from the St. Louis Gladiators. The Eastern Division is tight. These Gladiators are on top at 5-3, but that interception from Shaw will drop them to 5-4, and it will push Tulsa up to 5-4 with a head-to-head victory. Gerald, it doesn't get tighter than that.
Unbelievable. A must-win game for Tulsa, and this is probably the biggest win of the season, coming into St. Louis and beating the Gladiators at the Loop.
Wow, an unbelievable game. These two teams, I believe, Gerald, face off again before the end of the season. That will be must-watch television for those who are interested in the Eastern Division. But man, back and forth all day, and just when it looked like Brown was going to lead St. Louis back into it, he makes a mistake.
4 costly turnovers, all interceptions. As you see, the St. Louis, 414 yards of total offense. And once again, JQ doesn't go over the 250-yard mark and is now 5-0 when that happens. You missed it. You guys coming over from FDF, you missed a heck of a ball game. Back and forth, back and forth. Gabriel Manning, 9 catches for $101. Sansa Robinson, 22 carries for 63 yards and a touchdown. For St. Louis, you saw 4 interceptions by Christian Brown to go along with 272 yards. 83 for Mandavi, 89 for Delaval. Martinez with 105. But the defense for Tulsa is the story of this ball game. Coming up, picking off Christian Brown 4 times, and Cameron Shaw coming up with the big one there in the end zone to seal the ball game. Tulsa now 5-4 on top of the division, and they host these same Gladiators in Week 12.
Gerald, I all the stats aside, I think you just give player of the game to Cameron Shaw for that one play. Forget the rest of it.
Oh yeah, you have to. I mean, they're probably going to give it to maybe JQ. I mean, 26 of 31 for 231. He did have 2 interceptions, but every game where he's thrown less interceptions, he has 1. So you might give it to him, you might give it to Manning, but I think the player of the game has got to be Cameron Shaw.
That interception right there seals the deal for the Tulsa Desperados. A huge road victory for the team in black and teal today. Tulsa goes on the road and gets it done. The player of the game is Sanzo Robinson out of the backfield. 92 yards, 23 rushes, and a score. And Tulsa, like you said, Gerald, takes a hold of this division. Well, for Gerald Giudice, our stats team, Alan Armitage, and Jack Brown, I'm Andy Hamilton. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League. Tulsa, a 4-point victory. And after this short break, we'll send it back to SFL Studios for analysis. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the SFL post-game update. 2 games in the books. Fort Worth uses 7 interceptions to hold Houston to 7 points, and that record-setting defense in the SFL continues to shine, and Fort Worth is now the leader in the South Division at 6-3 by virtue of division record over Mexico City. Those 2 teams play next week on FTF at 12:30 Eastern on Sunday, 12:30 p.m. that is. Tulsa gets their first lead in the second half. They hold on to beat St. Louis 20-16. The Gladiators have lost 4 in a row, and they've now lost the division lead to the Desperados, who, thanks to an Atlanta loss to Denver yesterday and then their win over St. Louis, now has the lead in that division at 5-4. The rematch of those 2 is in Week 12. Coming up next on For the Fans, it's Vancouver at Florida. Florida wearing, I guess, what you would call their Miami Vice set. Bright pink, they take on Vancouver. They'll be in the gold. Florida 6-2, sole possession of second place in the SFL right now. Vancouver is a half game ahead of Los Angeles for the division lead after LA's loss to Jacksonville last night. If Vancouver loses, LA is back in the division lead in the Pacific. San Diego winless, but they're playing a lot better recently. They're trying to get the upset over Charleston today, who is 4-4 and is in the muck of wild card races. They're hoping for a Florida loss because the Predators are 2 games back of the division lead, which belongs to Florida. That is your SFL post-game update. We'll be back for kickoff of Vancouver and Florida, and then Charleston and San Diego will get going about 7:20 p.m. Eastern. Portland and Carolina, Sioux Falls and Louisiana later on FTF and SFL Twitch channels. But for now, we'll send it to a commercial break. Mike Daggs, Matt Wilson, Gerald Smith, Tyler Falk, the whole crew at the I, Fort Lauderdale standing by. We'll be right back. You're watching the SFL on For the Fans.